The next poem I'm going to read is called The House with a Broken Heart by Joyce Kilmer. This was my mom, Peggy Hardin's favorite poem, and I think this poem was a motivator for why she always loved building houses and remodeling houses. She always saw the potential, she always saw the bones in houses and what it could be. So, The House with a Broken Heart by Joyce Kilmer. Whenever I walk to Suffern along the Erie track, I go by a poor old farmhouse with its shingles broken and black. I suppose I've passed it 100 times, but I always stop for a minute. I look at the house, the tragic house, the house with nobody in it. I've never seen a haunted house, but I hear there's such a thing. They hold the talk of spirits, their mirth and sorrowings. I know this house isn't haunted, but I wish it were, I do. For wouldn't it be lovely if it had a ghost or two? The house on the road to Suffern needs a dozen panes of glass, and somebody ought to weed the walk and take a scythe to the grass. It needs new paint, shingles, and the vines should be trimmed and tied, but what it needs most of all, people living inside. If I had a lot of money and all my debts were paid, I'd put a gang of men to work with brushes, saw, and spade. I'd buy that place, I'd fix it up the way it used to be, and I'd find some people who wanted a home, and I'd give it to them for free. Now, a new house standing empty, staring windows and doors, looks idle perhaps and foolish, like a hat on a block in the store. But there's nothing mournful about it. It's not sad and lone, for the lack of something within it that it has never known. But a house that has done what a house should do, a house that has sheltered life, a house that has put its loving wooden arms around a man and his wife, a house that has echoed a baby's laugh and held up his stumbling feet, is the saddest sight when left all alone that ever your eyes could meet. So whenever I walk to Suffern along the Erie track, I never go by the empty house without stopping and looking back. Yet it hurts me to look at the crumbling roof and the shutters falling apart, for I can't help but think the poor old house is a house with a broken heart.